And with that, we're at the appointed hour, 1 o'clock East Coast time. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening from wherever you might be dialing in. Philip Hecker here from Bento Engine, joined by Chris Morrill from IntegratedAdvisor. We're thrilled to welcome you to this, our joint webinar, where we discuss the opportunity lifecycle and what that means for you as client-centric advisors and your clients. In terms of agenda and housekeeping today, we'll do some quick introductions and some housekeeping. After that, Chris and I will really bring the opportunity lifecycle to life. We'll demo our respective solutions and how they can help you to serve more of your clients and prospects in efficient ways and manage the opportunities in your CRM, in your book of business efficiently and effectively for everyone's benefit. We'll wrap it up with Q&A, and we hope to get all of this done in a crisp 30 minutes. In terms of housekeeping, this call is being recorded, and we'll put the recording on our respective websites after the call. With that, quick introductions. Philip here, co-founder and CEO of Bento Engine. Think of me as an industry insider. I'm very passionate about financial planning, about wealth planning, and supporting clients, prospects, and their family members during moments that matter on their life journeys. What that means, I'll bring to life in a minute, but let me weave in here our partner and friend, Chris Morrill from IntegratedAdvisor. Chris, why don't you say hello to the crew?
Sure. Hey, welcome everyone. Appreciate you joining us for this quick webinar. I'm a working financial advisor. I've been an advisor for 28 years. We've just developed some systems that solve some problems for us in our team, and that's what I'm going to be demonstrating today. But the reason I fell into this is because I'm a systems guy and love using technology, and just found a way to make this work for my own advising team. And like it shows there, father of four, I love to mountain bike. I'll be probably talking about that a little bit in my demonstration, and I am based in Utah. And I used to wear a tie. I don't wear a tie anymore, so that's been a little while. So,
Chris, that makes two of us, obviously,
Yep.
here, huh?
Yep.
Listen, oftentimes the best ideas come from the trenches, come from advisors out there in the field like you. So I'm excited about your solution set, and I trust that our audience will feel the same way. In terms of the opportunity lifecycle, Chris and I will briefly talk you through this page, which frames our entire conversation. We think of the opportunity lifecycle as having 8 different steps that Bento in dark blue and IntegratedAdvisor in light blue help you with all along the way. How to think about it potentially on top in the dark blue here, Bento Engine helps you by surfacing advice opportunities in your CRM. So it all starts with surfacing opportunities. Bento then provides you with compliance pre-approved, multi-format content for you to execute with. You then do the heavy lifting. You engage and serve your clients or prospects. And from that, obviously, new business opportunities arise, because when you lead with advice, good things happen. You create those opportunities in the CRM, and at that point, Chris and IntegratedAdvisor take over.
And just so everyone knows, our firm is a Bento Engine user, and we've seen this happen within our own firm. Is Bento will surface some opportunities, and how IntegratedAdvisor can help with this process is those are input into the Redtail CRM, and if you just use the Redtail CRM opportunity section as it was meant to be used, those opportunities are synced. They're clearly displayed for you to see. You can see what's going on, where they're coming from, how to track them. They highlight if you have any bottlenecks in your pipeline, where they're at in the process, and provide the next steps to help you. So as Bento surfaces or presents these opportunities to them, you can clearly track them through our system and show you results of those opportunities, and what were your best sources and where they came from, and how long it took to process them through the system. And then it comes right back around to full circle there, where by using our system and analyzing past opportunities, you can try to translate that into new, better opportunities in the future and start this cycle again.
And so the cycle continues. We'll bring it to life in this demo. This is it at the conceptual level. So let me spend a few quick moments on Bento Engine, bring that to life before I hand over to Chris and IntegratedAdvisors. Think of Bento Engine as a combination of technology and content. Technology embedding in your CRM to identify next best actions for you to take, combined with the content that you need to execute with. We focus on moments that matter in the life journeys of your clients and prospects. You may wonder, what are these moments that matter? Well, meet the Jones family, Jack and Jill, 2 teenage kids. Perhaps think of them as your quintessential client family. And let's ask ourselves, over the next 10 years, How many of these moments that matter may the Jones family encounter? As you can see here, Jack will run into 5 age-based milestones that will trigger distinct risks or opportunities. For example, Social Security at 62 or Medicare at 65. His wife Jill will likewise encounter 5 age-based milestones, including this year her ability to make catch-up contributions in her retirement accounts and thus increase her tax-advantaged savings and investings rate. Julie will face 2 age-based milestones. John will run into 3, including this year his ability to legally earn income and then put that legally earned income into custodial IRA accounts under his name so that John gets to enjoy the power of tax-deferred compounding for decades to come. In addition to these highly predictable age-based milestones, guess what? Life will happen. Jack receives a windfall, they buy a new home, move to a new state. Jill's mother passes away, they need to sell a home. Julie goes off to college, 4 years later, starts her first job and a family of her own, and John is on a similar path. You can see here, for one client family alone, 30 plus moments that matter, 30 plus golden opportunities to lead with personal, timely, impactful advice. So for each and every topic, 16 age-based ones, 14 life events, we developed comprehensive materials so that you can support your client families all along their life cycle, literally from cradle to grave, and we packaged our materials into 3 content programs. Life in Numbers on top covers the 16 age-based milestones. For example, QCD at 7.5. Life Events, as the name suggests, covers getting married, divorced, having a child, all that good stuff. And last but not least, top left corner here, Children Wealth is a program that helps you to engage G2 or G3 of the client family from very early on, helping them on their financial literacy journey. You can pick 1, 2, or all 3 content programs. Collectively, they cover the entire life cycle of the client with a sum total of 38 moments that matter. For each moment that matters, we develop multi-format materials. Some of your clients are visual learners. They like to look at a PowerPoint or PDF page. Great, we've got you covered. Some of your clients are audio learners. They would much rather have a conversation. In that case, you leverage the talking points. Others yet are constantly on the go. They want an email to get things going. We've got you covered. So for every topic, multi-format materials, and we have internal use only advisor FAQs in case you want to brush up on the topic at hand prior to reaching out. How does Bento Engine work? Here is the overview. You as the advisor continue to use your CRM as is. We integrate into these 9 fine systems, Redtail, Wealthbox, Salesforce, many others. No new login, no new system to learn, no new app on the workstation. You have too many already. All we do is via APIs connect to the back end of the CRM. There, our advice engine constantly scans your entire book of business to identify upcoming advice opportunities. When we find one, we pull the right content from our proprietary content library, and then very proactively, at the right point in time, we alert you back in the CRM and give you access to compliance pre-approved content to execute with. Now, let me at this point toggle over into a Redtail environment to briefly show it to you in the flesh. Chris, can you see my Redtail sandbox building up?
Yep.
Excellent. This is the homepage. Bento lives in the Activities tab. Here we surface alerts for you. For example, age 50 for your good client, Susie Jones. If you want to reach out to Susie on this topic, you click this alert and this standard alert structure pops up for you. The structure is always the same. Hey, your good client, Susie Jones, is about to turn 50. In case you haven't had a chance yet to advise on catch-up contributions, now would be a good time. And then we give you links to the compliance pre-approved content coming in multiple formats. So if you want to advise Susie Jones via a PowerPoint page, then you follow link number 3 and access the PowerPoint version of the advice. The materials are always short and sweet, a page or 2, covering the what, the why, and the how. What are catch-up contributions? Why bother? What's the economic benefit of getting this right? Another way to think about it, Chris, on the bottom right here, what is the quantifiable value add that you as the advisor bring to the table by leaning in on this topic at this point in time? Bottom left, last not least, action steps. How does the client implement and get it done? On the last page, we keep everybody safe, disclaimers, quality further reading, the underlying tax code, and current as of. On that note, as you well know, laws and regulations change all the time. And when they do, we quickly update the materials so that our clients can serve their clients always with the latest and greatest. Not everybody is a visual learner. In case you want to access the talking points instead, you follow link number 2 and get access to the talking points, which help you to frame the conversation, and then they spoon feed to you the key messages to relay in an impactful dialogue on the topic at hand. As I mentioned, we also have an email ready to go in link number one. And let me show you one more quick thing, which is for every topic, we have internal use only advisor FAQs. Think of these as a cheat sheet for your back pocket. If you want to get smart on QCDs prior to reaching out, you can access these materials, again, organized around the what, the why, and the how. It's simple FAQ style. And if your eyes are very good here, our subject matter experts always cite the underlying text code so that everybody can backtrace what the advice is actually based on. There you have it. That's Bento Engine in a nutshell. I think you all understand we live in the CRM. We alert you of upcoming advice opportunities, and then we present you with compliance pre-approved content for you to execute with. That content comes in multiple formats and is being kept up to date as laws and regulations change so that you can advise more of your clients and prospects on more relevant touch points in up-to-date, current, and compliant ways. And Chris, as I build a bridge to you, an integrated advisor, let's assume for a minute the advisor got an alert on working papers for a kid age, 14, and they reach out how to do that, and they motivate the family to open a custodial IRA account for the kids, at your firm. That might be a good example of a new business opportunity coming from the Bento type of advice. Perhaps you want to play with that or another example in your demonstration.
Right. No, I appreciate that, Philip. That's a very good example as you reach out to clients with in these moments that matter with good information, these opportunities just seem to surface. And I've found that in my own practice. I've also found that sometimes I'm just reaching out with good content, and that's a really positive thing. There used to be a point system when I was a younger advisor that I would get a point every time I reached out to a client, just to reach out and provide good advice and things like that, because ultimately a good conversation happens and they say something like, I've been meaning to talk to you or something. So that's exactly how it's helped us. But as these opportunities come up, I'm going to show you how you can take them and put them in the Redtail system and track these opportunities that Bento and other systems might be providing you. So let me share my screen here. Okay, so I'm not on the right screen here. I'm not as polished as Philip is here, but I wanted to start. This is a trail that's right by my house in Utah. I actually live in this little valley right here, and I'm part of an organization that built this trail. I mean, a lot of times I mountain bike it, but today I was walking it. And I'm walking it, and I'm just thinking about things. And I wanted to spotlight the importance of scoreboards. I looked down at my Apple Watch, and I didn't go seven. This is not my watch. I didn't go 17 miles today. But I looked down at my watch, and I realized my heart rate was really low, and I wanted to get it up a little bit higher. Without that scoreboard, I wouldn't have had that. That's a blind spot I would have had. And it's okay to go out there and just go for a walk. But if you're trying to get results and you're trying to lose some weight and things like that, it's so important to have that scoreboard. And it just shows anything that you track is naturally going to improve. And so that's what we're trying to do as integrated advisor is provide. I think every advisor team needs a scoreboard for their team and their opportunities. The problem is it takes time to track and do all these things. And so the problems that we're trying to solve with our Redtail integration is providing that scoreboard, but not taking the hours that it takes to manually track it yourself. And so we solve that process of having the scoreboard and have it done automatically just by using Redtail how it's meant to be used. Another problem we solved is we just didn't have the visibility in our firm of who was doing what, when they were doing it, what sources they were coming through, what opportunities were providing the most AUM and revenue, and it provided this visibility for us, just like my Apple Watch provided the visibility on my heart rate and change behavior, right? The third thing is we didn't have a lot of accountability in our firm. And I'm not talking about punitive accountability, but I'm talking about positive accountability, working on a team and seeing results, motivating one another and that type of thing. And that's what this Redtail integration is done for us. So as Philip mentioned, there's a handoff. In Philip's case, it was that custodial account. Bento Engine can help you identify those opportunities and hand them over to IntegratedAdvisor. And what happens with IntegratedAdvisor, and a lot of people, I'll be really honest, a lot of people don't use the opportunity section within Redtail, but I want to show you how it can be used. and how you can automate this process to really track your opportunities well and see what's going on. This is the engine behind everything that I'm going to show you on the dashboards. Once you identify that opportunity, like that custodial account or diversifying company stock into a tax managed account, someone on your team, the advisor or maybe your champion of your opportunities, would input that information into the Redtail opportunity, where it's coming from, the source, the revenue. Anytime something changes with that opportunity as you track it, you can put opportunity notes down here. This is the engine behind what we're doing, and this is what's going to provide the data that you're going to see next. And so what I want to do is get into my live demo of the dashboards. These are the kinds of things that you're going to see. And this is just one of my favorite authors is John C. Maxwell. And um, he's big on the scoreboard and saying the scoreboard is essential because it defines reality, makes everyone aware, informs decision, influences adjustments, and reveals the outcome. And I think that's really true. So if we get into one second here.
And Chris, as you do that, I have to tell you, I love the analogy, of getting the heart rate up for
Yeah,
everyone's benefit, from the trail. And I'm
right.
reminded here of the old saying, you get what you measure, you
Right.
get what you track.
Exactly. And that came to me one time that I was walking. It's just like, we track everything in our life. The thing that's most important to us a lot of time, well, probably not most important, behind our family, but one thing that's very valuable is our business. And so important to have tracking our activity and what we're doing. This is the opportunity snapshot. So we have an automatic API integration with Redtail. As you use Redtail, it's going to automatically update that information here. And it's going to allow you to see, this is the scoreboard, basically, a high level of how much AUM have we closed this year compared to last year. What are the totals? What are the total fees? Which advisor is doing what? How they're progressing towards their goal? The total AUM that were per advisor, conversion ratios, how well they're doing with it, and opportunities added and new business written. And again, all from that little screen, you're going to get this type of data. You can look at it. Some groups like to look at this as a firm and they don't like to individualize it, but you can set prior or uh, uh, change the settings to where you can look at it as a firm or as an advisor. And you could also just grab a single advisor and look at them and look at their results and the activity that they're doing. The next thing is our opportunity board. And on our opportunity board, if we just sort for one advisor here, this is like a working Kanban style opportunity board where you can click and drag these opportunities as they change. You can see who the servicing advisor is on it, and who is assigned to that current opportunity. You can also click on here and change the details. All these details are the same thing that was in Redtail. So as something changes with that opportunity, you can put that down in the description and it's automatically going to go into the Redtail CRM and update there. So this is more of a practical board, not showing results, but showing how long things have been outstanding, what stage they're on in the process, and trying to move them forward all the way to closed one. If someone on your team is assigned to getting paperwork out, you can assign it to a certain person. Let's click on this one, and it pulls up all the opportunities that they're working on right now. And this is not really clean because it's a demo environment, but I think you get the point here. So the opportunity board is really powerful and has been a new feature that a lot of our users have liked. The opportunity pipeline looks at all your. Let me take Elizabeth off here. If you're looking at the team, it shows you your pipeline and your process. You can set up your own pipeline here, your own stages, but it allows you to see, like right here in recommendations, this could be a bottleneck. Having 24 cases in recommendations right before the client says yes, you can click on that, go down to the screen, and see all those opportunities and go down through them. Where are they at? What are the next steps? How long has it been idle? This is how long that opportunity hasn't been updated from someone on the team. AUM, and it totals those all up there. So it's a very interactive screen, but you can also click on specific sources and see what your pipeline looks like. If we were to click on this hummingbird, that's how many cases that we have that we're working on, for that right now. But this analyzes all your open opportunities. But in addition to that, you could go to the Opportunities Insights page. This allows you to look at the past and see how you've done in the past in order to make better decisions for the future, right? What's working, what's not working, where your best opportunities are coming from. So you see in this case, if we go, that's just one advisor, but if we go look at the team and we look at year to date for this advisory group, it shows how many Opportunities came from existing clients, unsolicited referral, Hummingbird, things like that. So let me just show you one example real quick because I know we're running out of time. But if I go into last year, we did a LinkedIn marketing campaign where it cost us a bunch of money to do that. And if I look at last year, we didn't register any cases on that last year. Um, we didn't start at the start of the year, it was during the year, but we didn't close any cases. But having this type of board, it allows us to go in and see this year. Without this board, I probably just would have given up on what we were doing there. But you can see here on the Hummingbird, this LinkedIn thing, you can see how many we closed 17 cases, $1.1 million of AUM, $7,000 of revenue and stuff like that. So it allows you, like I said, it allows you to analyze what you've done in the past, what's working, what's not working, and make better decisions for your firm. Close rates, how long it's taken to transfer business, in the detailed page. You could even look at lost opportunities and examine why those were lost. So there's so much more here, but I wanted to touch on a couple more things. This opportunities cost page, if we sort for one advisor here, Rebecca Dalton, and we do year to date, in your Redtail activities, you can set up your own categories. We categorize these as green, red, yellow, blue sky, things like that. You can see where each advisor or where yourself is spending their time. And for example, if there's a lot of red in here, that's keeping you, if you're spending a lot of time on red tape stuff, that's keeping you from, the reason it's called opportunity cost is that's keeping you from creating new opportunities. And so you can see, if you're honest with yourself, you can see where you're spending your time and how much green time we call it that you're having. If I click on the green time, it breaks it down on meeting preparation, different appointments that I'm having with clients so I can see where I'm spending my time. And there's a trend there and try to make good decisions. One thing I look at year to date, maybe I'm only averaging 1 hour, an hour and a half in green time. That's a problem. You're setting a goal to do 2 or 3 or something like that. But if you don't know this, you can't make that change in behavior. One of the things that I think is super helpful here is if we go down and grab, your clients are listed in here too. If we grab a specific client, year to date, you can see how much time that you've spent. I've spent 2 hours and 45 minutes with this client. And you can see what type of meetings, when it occurred. And in 28 years, I've never found a tool that allowed me to do this easy like this. I remember my business partner saying we need to track how much time we're spending with clients so we can charge the right fee and stuff like that. And I thought to myself, are you kidding? That's going to take forever. But if you do it right within Redtail, this can help you do that and identify, maybe help you make better decisions. One couple last things here. If we go to, I got this hidden here. There is there's an AI chatbot here. So what I did previously is I put in this question. Please summarize the changes on my dashboard this week, focusing on opportunities created by whom and also opportunities closed when and by whom. And it gave me this scenario where how many opportunities were created, how many were won, takeaways from that. And so that AI chatbot, you can ask it anything and it's going to research your dashboard and give you the insights that you need. We also have email notifications that you can set up when an opportunity goes to a certain stage or it's been stagnant for a long time. You'll be notified on that. You can customize this how you like to. And then just lastly, and I'll do this real quick because I know we're running out of time. Let me stop my share here. Actually, no, let me share and share something else though. This is on our website. What it is it's a calculator that shows if by using this system and have a better organization around how to track your opportunities, if I could save one opportunity per year by using the system, the case, there's a $250,000 case, 1% fee, and maybe save 1 hour of my time per month, and you can put in your hourly rate. The integrated advisor costs $25 per user, so it's not very expensive to get this type of data, but this is just an ensemble practice of $99 or $19 a user for 5 users. But it basically shows you how much you're spending for a system like this and what the return you're getting just by saving cases and making better use of your time. And so I've just found that to be true in my firm and my situation, and that's why we've developed this, and that's why we're trying to share it with the broader community.
Chris, thanks for that. It seems to be a very powerful set of practice management tools that help advisors to manage the caseload, increase their efficiency and effectiveness, leading to better client experiences and outcomes, and to your point, more efficient managing of their own practice. Am I thinking about it the right way?
Yep, for sure. Just seeing what's really going on in your practice, because before this, I didn't really know what was going on. All I knew was revenue was going up because the stock market was going up, but I really didn't know if we're adding new AUM and new opportunities. So
Excellent. With that, we're slightly over time. Our apologies. However, let's do Q&A. Please, folks, type your questions into the Q&A box. I'll be feeding them, to either side. Let's start with Megan, who is wondering how much do each of these integrations cost? Chris, you alluded to it already. Can you flesh out your pricing real quick for IntegratedAdvisor? And then I'll do the same for Bento.
yeah, with IntegratedAdvisor, like I said, for a solo advisor, $25 per month to have this information and have that data in front of you. This works really well with advisor teams, and so we're an advisor team of 5. We pay an ensemble license of $99 a month. Advisors can be on that. You can have other team members on that to track things. We also will give you a 30-day free trial on this, so because it takes a while to put some opportunities in and use this. And during that time, I'll have a couple coaching meetings with you to show you how to best use it and things. So.
Okay. A related question before I answer for Bento Engine. How hard is it to implement, to integrate IntegratedAdvisor? How does one get going?
Really, really simple. There's a straightforward process on just linking your CRM up with IntegratedAdvisor. And a lot of times, if you have other ways to track new business, like we did on a spreadsheet, or I've met people on a whiteboard, or in their, worse, in their head. What you're doing is you're just taking that information and you're deciding that I want that information to live within the CRM, not outside of the CRM. And so you're just putting it in Redtail opportunities, and you're putting all your notes. And when anyone has a question about that opportunity, it's all right. It's all right there. So it's really easy to integrate it. It's just making a decision of I want this to live within the CRM, because I'm a big believer is most everything you can should be within the CRM.
Excellent. For those who want to get going and want to integrate, can they get your contact information on the website? If so, what's your website?
Yeah, IntegratedAdvisor.com. Yeah,
IntegratedAdvisor.com, and there folks can get going. Let me answer the questions for Bento Engine. It's easy to integrate as well. We integrate into Redtail, Wealthbox, Salesforce, many other CRMs. You can get going by visiting our website, bentoengine.com. There's a little install now button for Redtail and Wealthbox. It's super easy. It's a 20-minute self-directed journey. We basically API key exchange, configure the system, and then you're up and running. When it comes to price point, the pricing for the technology and the content is determined by the number of seats that you buy. So there's a sliding scale, and the number of content programs you want to access. Let's assume for a minute you're a single advisor, want to buy 1 seat. Then if you want to access 2 of the 3 programs, it's roughly $2,000 per seat per year for the technology that alerts you in the CRM and all the content on the moments that matter. Like I said here, integration easy at bentoengine.com. Let's see what other kind of questions do we have here. How does Bento Engine create the content and maintain it? We do it via a pool of recognized subject matter experts that not only create the initial set of materials, but then also, as laws and regs change, quickly update them. So it's not done by AI yet. It's done by humans in deterministic as opposed to merely probabilistic type of ways. Let's see what other questions we have here. Can advisors, I think this is best for you, Chris, can advisors customize which opportunities, are more they want to track and which ones they don't track? I assume the answer is yes.
Yes, yeah, they can within Redtail and within our system, they can set their own stages, their own processes, which opportunities they want to track, which opportunities they don't want to track. And so in our onboarding process, we'll walk you through that process and how to set up the integration effectively for your team, because a webinar like this is great for this type of information, but I'd love to have a one-on-one demo with anyone to talk about your own system and how easily we can get it working within Redtail.
Similar answer for Bento. We're flexible by design. We come with a set of 38, moments that matter. If you want the kitchen sink, great. If you want to customize segment-specific journeys, for example, QCDs, let's only discuss that with A clients, but not B and C clients. Of course, we can configure the system to support segment-specific advice journey. Much like Chris said, we'd love to sit down and better understand your practice management needs and preferences, and then tailor our respective solutions to best meet your needs. With that, I believe we have addressed most, if not all, of the great incoming questions. Let us at this point wrap it by saying thank you for your attention, and let's re-emphasize where people can learn more. Chris, where can people learn more about Integrated Advisors?
IntegratedAdvisor.com. There's a button right up front to set up a demo with me personally. You can email me at chris@IntegratedAdvisor.com, but you can find all that information on our website.
Excellent. IntegratedAdvisor.com, chris@IntegratedAdvisor.com. For Bento Engine, it's similar, bentoengine.com. There is a book a demo button you can install now if you want to, or you can email our team at hello@bentoengine.com. With that, we thank you for your time and attention. The Opportunity Lifecycle is a mutually reinforcing, ever-going, wheel where both Bento Engine and IntegratedAdvisor can be of great help. Thanks for your time again, and have a great rest of the day. Chris,
Thank
fun
you,
doing
everyone.
this with you.
Yep. Thank you.